What thoughts go through a mother's mind when she's about to meet her daughter who was taken from her as an infant 30 years ago? And what would that daughter feel toward the woman who gave her life but was forced to give her up? Today, the reunion of these two women ends the pain of a lifetime and begins the process of becoming whole again. In 1966, Linda Mortimer, 17 years old and unmarried, was sent to a maternity home where she gave birth to a little girl she named Catherine Ann. The baby was taken from Linda against her will, adopted by a loving family, and raised as Jennifer Shapiro, now Jennifer Page. 3 decades have gone by, but time has never diminished Linda's hopes of one day seeing her daughter again. Today, that dream becomes real when Linda reunites with her long-lost baby girl.
My name is Linda Rose, Linda Mortimer Rose, and I'm a birth parent from 1966.
My name is Jennifer Lynn Page, formerly Jennifer Lynn Shapiro. I was born in July of 1966.
I haven't seen her since she was 6 days old, when she was taken from me.
We are standing here in Southern California in a little town called West Hills. Who lives here now in the house behind me is my mother and father, Roz and Phil Shapiro, myself, and my daughter Felicia, who's 11 and a half years old.
I'm in Tennessee. I've been here for 25 years, and this is my home. This is the home God gave me. and this is where she's coming. Today I see her, and I see my granddaughter, and I see my smile and my mother's smile, and I see that there's something bigger than crisis. There's something bigger than heartache, and that's how wonderful the other side of an answered prayer is. My daughter is a product of a first love. When I was younger, a lot younger, a teenager, I met Chris. We were together for like 2 years, dating and, phone calling and meeting in the street and everything, and one thing led to another, and, the inevitable happened, and we were pregnant. I just turned 17, and Chris was about to be 16. And when the parents found out, it went like burning rice paper. Things happened quickly and terribly and totally misconstrued. I'd lost my mom when I was 15, right when I met Chris, and he was there for me. I got sent away to an unwed mother's home, because back then you were called a bad girl. And your children were called illegitimate and bastards. So, whoosh, I got taken and locked up. And I didn't know what happened to Chris. And there I was for 4 months. In my mind, I was going home. No matter what it took, my child and I were going home. The morning I went into labor, I didn't even know what that was. I got handed a $5 bill and put in a taxi cab on a loading dock and sent over the bridge in D.C. to a hospital where I was in labor from 7:30 that morning till 11:15 that night, when out came this huge, beautiful child. When I opened my daughter's hands, and they were my hands, and she had the crooked little fingers, and she was just perfect from head to toe, and she's mine. I had her christened when she was 4 days old. I got to feed her. I got to rock her at night. And then came day 6. This lady came in the room and took my daughter. With not answering me, What are you doing? Where are you going? And shut the door. And I couldn't get out. And I just remember from that moment on, my life's not been the same. I remember signing those damn papers, and I was forced to do so. I don't remember a lot after that, other than my brother picking me up and telling me from this day forward, we're not talking about this. And that wasn't his thing, that was just a message from my father. And I think right that moment, I know this sort of sounds like a trite statement, but right that moment, a hippie was born. And anyway, I left. I just left home and crashed and burned through the 60s. It's like walking around in the darkness with a candle inside of yourself going, well, where is my heart? Where is she? You know, is she okay? Is she alive? Is she, God, is she now a princess of a third world nation? You know, is she a senator? Is she a singer? Is she, she's the best little cook in Texas, you know? Is she happy? Is she crying tonight? Is she sad? Is she anything? I was counting on wherever she was and whatever family she was in and whoever her parents were, that hopefully for the times, they were good people.
My family is very, I'd say, I can't say ordinary because I find they're extraordinary just because, you know, I love them so deeply. I am definitely blessed with the family that took me in, I don't even want to say took me in, that adopted me. And gave me a life where maybe it would be so different if somebody else adopted me.
You're with me on this journey, and you're not being excluded from this journey in any way. And I love you so dearly.
Well, we love you
We
too,
love you too.
and I feel quite confident that this is going to work out.
It'll be fine.
Well, it's always a wonder when I think about who my birth parents are. I think the only thing I thought of growing up in my mid-adolescence, like from age 10 to about age 13, is I wonder if my mother has green eyes.
Through the years, I would send letters to Maryland, just going, if anything ever changes, could you help me find my daughter? You know, I don't want to intrude, but can I have something?
I've always talked about when I'm 18, I'm going to find my birth parents, or then I started going, when I'm 20, I'm going to find my birth parents, and then I went to, when I'm 23, I'm going to find my birth parents. And I believe what stopped me from that was that rejection aspect of it. I thought more negative than positive.
Before my birthday last year in October, I called long distance up in Maryland. There was finally this wonderful voice on the other end of the phone, Mr. Waldo. He just said, why, Miss Rose, how long has it been since you've contacted this office? And I said, well, I guess 90. Oh, things have changed since then. Your heart jumps. What do you mean? You know. He said, well, we're trying to reunite birth families, you know. And I'm sitting in the living room chair, right? I'm like, I can't believe this. When that voice said that and my heart heard that, it was nothing short of the door of the temple in Israel opening. It was huge.
On a Thursday night, I came home and, got my mail, and there's an envelope that had a seal of Prince George's County Welfare Services, Maryland, and the name Donna Poole. I finally got a hold of her on Tuesday morning, which is March 10th, a very special day.
I'm sitting in my Stratolauncher, March 10th, and I'm all by myself.
Donna Poole said, I'll call Linda, and then I'll call you back with her number.
The phone rings, and Donna Poole says, I want you to stay off the phone because within 10 minutes, your daughter's going to be calling you.
I have Linda Rose and her number right in front of me, and it was like, okay, what do I do? Oh my God, I'm holding this. What am I going to do?
And I immediately called my best friend. I can't remember what I said, but it was something like, get over here, my daughter's calling.
And I'm like thinking and so concerned with what are we going to discuss, And it just blew my mind away that I even had that thought, because what are we not going to discuss?
I don't remember thinking about what am I going to say, what is she, I don't remember thinking anything.
And I just said to myself, just throw the hat over the wall and just call the number.
And then the phone rang. I didn't know if I could answer it. And I could hear myself screaming, pick the phone up!
I heard her voice, and it was like the most new but familiar voice. It was like a sense of familiarity because it's my mom, but so strange to hear it for the first time.
And this lovely, mature voice said, very professionally, is this Linda?
May I speak to Linda? She said, this is Linda.
Well, my name is Jennifer Lynn Page, and I'm your, and I said, you're my daughter. As
she was talking to me, she was telling me in this one sentence of saying, I never wanted to give you up for adoption. I was forced to do it. And we went everywhere for 3 hours. And it was like your heart that was just dry and barren in the desert was just filling and filling and filling and filling and filling and pumping and healthy and wonderful and whole. My daughter has the same hands that I do, they're like identical. And because our pinkies turn in, just right there, they kind of just turn in at the first digit. And I just went, oh my God, do I have my mom's hands? So without even telling her the whole story, she said, are your pinkies crooked? And I'm like, she said, those are mine. You got those from me.
She wanted to know me. She wanted to see me.
She was like overwhelmed with my complete acceptance. I'm ready. Let's reunite.
And then she sent me the most priceless thing.
Here's a woman that didn't experience anything of me and has been wondering of me all my life.
And I opened the book. I remember saying, there you are. I do not have to spend the rest of my life not whole. And I don't care if she chooses to live in Tibet the rest of her life. I know where she is, I know she's fine, I know she knows me, I know she knows who she is, and by God, there's phone lines in Tibet, and I can always say, hey baby, how are you? And I will know she's okay. And that's happening today, and I cannot wait.
Mommy,
Yeah?
should I bring shorts?
Possibly. It might be really nice in the daytime.
Okay, I get to get dressed. We're wearing purple.
I think they're going to all be wearing purple of some sort. So, and that signifies her life through the movie, The Color Purple.
This is my cousin, Chris.
Hi,
This is your cousin. You're going to meet her soon.
So we're thinking about meeting some uncles.
I don't know. I already have too many.
I'm trying to curl my hair and I can't see a damn thing. I'm doing this in Braille.
Have a layover in Chicago. And then our last leg to Knoxville is going to be tormenting.
You know, there's the following example.
My regular songs.
We're out of here. I guess it's right that Susan's driving. Susan's my oldest best friend. My son, Luke. He's the one when he hugs me no matter what and says it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Yeah, we're waiting on Bobby. We're not going anywhere without him. He's what's making me physically stand today. We're really early, aren't we? I got there and then more people showed up, my family and my friends, and all the people that are so a part of me, that are a part of Jennifer. And everybody got their little purple hearts that said Homecoming of the Heart.
Yes. United Flight 306 from Chicago has been...
Hot damn! Don't let me go.
Let go of it.
I can't do this. I can do this.
Yes, you can do it.
Allie, and I can do this. Is she close?
Yeah, we've been waiting on you.
I love you. I love you so much.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
We gotta go.
Felicia. Oh, God, grab the baby. Come on.
Time just stopped. It was like non-existent. And I looked into her eyes. And I looked just right, and they were my eyes that I was always looking at in the mirror, looking through my tears, looking with the red and the green just piercing right at me. Just, those were my eyes.
Baby. And at that moment, it was like, I finally did it. I finally did it. I finally found her. I was finally strong enough to get her, and I had her.
This is my daughter, Jennifer Lynn. And I'm the mom, Linda Ellen. And this is the grandbaby. And the big thing, that's us. And we're going to go home now and eat lasagna.
The eyes that I saw when I pulled back and I could finally see were the same two little eyes for 6 days that just looked into my face. That bond never stopped.
Look at all the connections. Look at all the behaviors. Look at all the characteristics. Look at all the hand movements. Look at my mirror I've been looking into for 31 years, sitting right in front of me now. I want to remember that day. You know, I want to remember those 6 days. That's like so...
I wouldn't have, because I rolled you all over the place a lot.
God, I want to remember that so bad. I want to remember being there. I want to remember her holding me and loving me like that. But then I go, okay, well, I have that. I'm there.
I knew what your eyes looked like. God, you don't know how many years I stripped mittens off a baby's hands.
I really, truly can't describe how filled I'm. Just how filled, how complete this is.
And to sit there and this thing just fits. It's just the same hand and the same lifeline.
The words to describe this whole experience, there is, I don't think, any word that I've ever come close to. Bliss, elation.
The rest of your life does include me.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about that.
Not a creak, not a bend, not a sound out of you that I'm not going to be able to hear. The journey's over. And there's absolutely nothing else left to happen in my life. On earthly standards, I may not have much. Not to me. I have it all. I have it all.
And I can see you because I have a